There is really so much to say from one moon cycle to the other, and I think uh, this has been such a potent and deep period of life, also energetically, because since Chaturthi and the whole of Bhadrapad, even the Krishna Paksh, the Pitru Paksh, the curations, whether it was the playlist or whether it was the cards or whether it was rivers, I've been surrounded by so much of music, and I think the pinnacle of it was yesterday uh, during the Kojagri Purnima. So it was absolutely last moment, very spontaneous thing to do, but also something that I was looking forward to. And thanks to be able to really stage us next to a temple, they were inviting somebody whose music I had grown up listening to, or whose sound was so familiar, because there were cassettes of Bhakti Sangeet or whatever abhangs that this person sang. So I happened to listen to a really big name in the industry, and that's Pandit Ajit Karkare. And also because I live in Sakhi now, where these stalwarts have connections to, because one of the songs that I heard, and in fact I used it for my grounding exercises for some time, I was very naturally navigated to it, was Nighalo Kyun Dattatri Palaki, and that's what a coincidence to be able to witness him in person singing out there, and really small crowd, so there is no disturbance. But of course, the energy was so moving, if I must say, that it started raining. It was raining. We weren't able to see, nobody was able to see the moon, I think, in Goa, which is why we have extended it, and we're trying to look at both yesterday and today. But on 16, nobody did. Uh, and it was raining, and the organizers did not realize. So we sat there for almost 1.5 hours before the concert actually began. But it's really the humility of the artist, because first thing that he said was, I could feel into the energy of all these people who are sitting here. Maybe they are a little disappointed. Maybe they are not really used to uh, waiting for us for so long, because performers are so used to doing it. They have like gone beyond the average parameters of patience, but not the audience. And imagine to sit and already have exhausted that mental space, and then expect them to listen to you and appreciate what you're doing. But he instantly connected to the people, and he said that I can feel it, and please allow me some more patience and some of your time, uh, and feel into what I sing here. Also, the cognition, in spite of being in the 70s, just a real change in the sound output was very instantly recognized by this artist, and he would instantly say, make the voice soft, or make it rounded, or take my voice off the monitor. And so the fine tuning, the dedication, of course. I'm nobody really to talk about his expertise, and uh, I've just gathered a few pearls of this vast ocean of music. But uh, so so the idea of abundance, and so the idea of gratitude, because I was also thinking about uh, my gratitude leap. I did a decade long gratitude leap in November 2023, because 2024, no, sorry, 2023, because I started keeping my new journal from my birthday portal, which was in December. So my year actually started in December. It's going to end in November. And that's all, that's what we all should do, because that date or that time or that period, people might say like there are 10,000s of calendars, so how do you very precisely say this is the time? But it's rhythmic, it's cyclical, it's felt in the body. You might feel you are transforming even in a week's time, a day's time, after 3 months, but ideally it's closer to your birthday somehow that you feel this. And that's why probably I'm feeling there's just 1 month of the year that's left, apart from the calendar ending in 2 months. So all the rags, okay, all the compositions that this person was singing were from my playlist. And I discovered, of course, people will be like, oh, you did not know this is possible to Google. But I think that that's the beauty of spontaneous discoveries, that Shabdam Vatsanam Kade Saris and Pimpilas. Pimpilas was also a rag that I sang, I think, for a certain exam. And when I was not even really, I hadn't even started learning music. It's just like basic RO, and these exams that are imposed on people. The real learning actually happens when you go beyond all of that and you feel it on a much deeper level. And you learn from a stalwart, you go to a guru, and you surrender to that person. And it doesn't matter whether you're singing 12 rags in a year, or you are singing just one rag for say 4 months, 5 months, or 6 months, because that level of cognition, that level of emotional depth. And I wouldn't even say that in spite of doing it for 7 consecutive years, that I knew what I was doing when I was in say second year, because I started in I think 8th or 9th standard with my current guru. And in spite of doing it very rigorously, but it was very achievement centric, it was very target centric, it was very, I want to master this and things like that. Very intellectualized version of music. But now, when I started it in July 2023, that was when it just felt as if it was the knowing, it was the wisdom of the body, and that's when it lands, which is why I absolutely don't feel ashamed to say that I do not know the raga of this song, because the melody, the memory, the personal connection, the nostalgia, or even the wisdom that lands is way more important than all the identification, egocentric markers that we are so obsessed with. So Pandit Katkade was, his alapi was, of course, people say good things about his dance and all of that, the expertise thing, but the failed thing for me was the flow in Madhilai and Rupak or in Shabdal, or the see, I'm not even able to find words, right? But the soft, the smooth, yet the deep, and in tarot terms, I'll say the Father of Cups, the King of Cups, kind of emotional energy. And I instantly kind of checked why this connection. So astrologically, probably it's also because his Mars and his Venus are in a sign that's my ascendant. So there's just something, some connection that we feel, or even the Abhang Amhana Kare Gyan, which was by Sokha Mari, a stalwart of Bhakti movement, and such a philosophical piece to actually talk about the breaking the Brahminical chains of religion, just feeling God. Also, he sang a Ganpati bhajan, which was also related to his spiritual guru. And again, Hey Surano Chandrava, or whoop, or all these melodies that are so south node melodies for me, that are the comfort zone melodies for me. And in spite of that, in spite of the fact that it was raining, still we braved all of it. We braved all the curveballs to be there, to have our nervous systems in place, and to receive what was coming. The pouring beauty of the abundant beauty of the moonlight, which again was not visible to the eyes but which is felt in the body. And Natya Sangeet has been partly also a bit of a trigger, because I saw all these people, I mean, professional singers in 8th and 9th standard, some of my classmates. But now, if I go back and see, I'm like, uh, did they even exploit their voice to a certain extent? Which, of course, because I think when we're learning something, this temptation of just going and being on the stage, if it takes over, we start being in the shallow waters and we do not really reach the depth, because you are cultivating the ego and you're saying that I know everything, I can do this, I have won this contest, or I'm here on the television. But there's this thing of Natya Sangeet, that the expertise, of course, was fascinating, because all these small kids, or even people who used to do kirtan, how did they get the next variation was always my question, because I was so obsessed with intellectualizing music, and I realized it's also part of my configuration, because analysis and seeking and uncovering the truth, mind centric things are very, very heavy in my personal blueprint. So, first thing that I'll come across would be with my rational things. But I'm here to go towards the emotional depths, even towards uncertainties, or do a bit of trauma related work and very unconventional things. That's where my not node is, and that's the lesson that I'm processing. So, from this intellectualized version, the day I felt, and even I think October has been brilliant, because every Bhairav, when I started learning Bhairav, or when I started learning Yaman, or when I started recently again, we went back to Yaman and we sang Nad Brahma, which is again in Madhyalay, and the beauty of Madhyalay, and the beauty of those notes, the muscle memory, the vocal memory, all of it. And 2 consecutive Sundays, I was asked to sing by myself. So normally, in the simplified version, we are given some inputs and then we use that sargam or whatever to sing. But randomly, my guru said just sing, and it was a new tal. Uh, but but your mind, your body, your soul, it just knows and you just flow. That's what also happened today in my body movement session. Who knew that I would be able to grasp the prana movements and just choreograph a sequence all by myself in a very exploratory manner. But that's the beauty of surrendering, and that's the beauty of just uh, not worrying much about the mind. Uh, it's always connected, but uh, just go by the wisdom of the body, or just go be settled in this belief that I don't need to know everything. Everything doesn't need to make rational and intellectual sense, but the wisdom is multi dimensional, and it will come, or it has come, or it has always been there in whatever forms. It's just unraveling itself to you in multiple modalities, and just keep that ego aside. And that is really, really beautiful. uh, and I one ever important thing on my gratitude list now on, or since last year, is going to be that I could be in a place which was home for almost 2 months of every year, and I could be so close to a house where I had spent my childhood, my grandparents' house, uh, in a land where, Shiva temple is just across, and Vittal temple is just less than 2 kilometers away, and Datta Mandir is less than 2 kilometers again away. But all of that it was there. It was the comfort zone thing. But there were also strains and blockages that I had to work through. And you need that kind of warmth, you need that kind of holding uh, to be able to process very, very courageously the darker sides uh, of the unraveling, and I'm absolutely grateful for that.